speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you're royal and we're proud.
Amazing. Lincoln, Curtis, Gerald, Hawthorne. That was splendid. Oh, I'm sad y'all missed it. Yo, my heavens. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I am so, y'all missed it. Oh, y'all missed it. Oh my God. Lincoln, come here. Give me a hug, yo. That was sensational. That was splendid, superb, amazing. More importantly, that was Hawthorne. Like, that's from our genetics. You know what I'm saying? All right. What's the most important name? Tell the people what's the most important name.
Hawthorne.
Tell the people what's the most important name. Wait, they can't say it again?
Hawthorne.
Exactly. Love you, dog. Love you, dog. You know what I mean? Wow. Damn. I am impressed. Man, where we started and where we at now? Shucks. Man. Anyways, I'm back, man. I'm just, every parent before they have kids say, I'm not going to be that parent. And then next thing you know, all you got is your kids, man. You know what I mean? Shit. The kids are the highlight of your day. Anyways, man, hopefully everybody's great, having a splendid day. Taco Tuesday's in the building, but some of y'all at Taco Tuesday hanging out when you should be thinking of a business plan. You know what I mean? Business plan. Anyhow, what's going on in boxing? I don't know, but I haven't watched no one's stuff today. But the pastor, I'm gonna do a false prophets part 3. Hey, Lincoln, I'm gonna do a false prophets part 3. I'm gonna do the pastor in Brooklyn. I'm gonna do Mark Jackson, and I'm gonna do Reza Islam. That motherfucker in court. I just got his paperwork today. Oh, we gonna have some fun with that. Oh yeah. That motherfucker said he was Nation of Islam. That motherfucker choosing to be sovereign citizen. How you gonna be a sovereign citizen and a Nation of Islam member? Make that make sense, yo. You know what I mean? They just conning and frauding the people, man. I wish I would have known this when I had them on the show, man. But they just trying to find a way to get in, fit in where they get in, man. So we're gonna do a false prophets part 2. And as of right now, those are the 3 leading candidates. I can always throw Elijah Muhammad back in there. I never get tired of talking about him. He fucking conned the people, man, fucking all them little girls. And oh man, jeez. Oh, I got an interview dropping with Leon Muhammad, man, on some of the things that he saw in the Nation of Islam. I'm gonna do an excerpt of that in a second. And what's up, KB? What's up, KP? KP and KB. Hey, can you bring me the paperwork off the stairs? So yeah, man, that's where we're at with that, man. And Errol Spence tweeted, as you guys saw in the thumbnail, he said, not even close. Matter of fact, we can just pull up his Hey, that pastor, hey, he about to do insurance fraud, yo. I ain't even lying. That motherfucker about to do insurance fraud. Thank you, dog. Appreciate you, big homie. Dude, you sounded amazing, dog. You're welcome, homie. And yep, I got 10 pages. Oh shit. Oh yeah. So I'll go through that later on in the show, but I want to show you guys Errol Spence. If I have it. Errol Spence Twitter. I got it. Errol been on Twitter since November 2009. I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. Hey, I'm so proud of my son right now. I'm so proud of Lincoln right now. I got to get in the habit of saying that. I do better and better every day. But yeah, man, y'all see it. I said what I said, and I meant it. And I said what I said, and I meant it. He wants Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence in great shape too. Look at him. Oh, he in the he went to the Nike town. That's the Nike store I go to when I go to Dallas. Yeah. Okay. Look how good shape he in. Hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing. They don't know when the fight is, but I respect Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. You know what I mean? I respect how they're. I totally respect it. Totally respect it. Oh, that's dope, man. People supporting it. Hopefully people supporting yeah, but yeah. So that's where we're at with that. So you guys can see it. Ain't no need to repost that. But I am very impressed with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence in between fights. I'm ultra impressed with them. I don't know if they know when the fight is happening. Maybe they got the date and they just ain't announced it. They're going over the money and stuff. I don't know. But in terms of a big fight, I've never seen two fights at least 3 months out in that good a shape. You know what I mean? Silver Salmon, you know what I mean? GB Lifetime, you know, it's just amazing how I'm very impressed and I'm actually inspired, you know what I mean? And it's beautiful to see. But so if Keith Thurman doesn't happen, oh, that's old when he's supposed to be fighting Pac-Man. I don't know, but he looked in great shape. But thank you for correcting me, JJ. Keith Thurman is out the picture. I'm happy. I'm tired of Keith Thurman. I don't want no more of Keith Thurman. I'm tired of him robbing and stealing from the people, lying to the people. I'm glad the fans are waking up. You know, I just want athletes who want to compete. You know what I mean? And he's one of these athletes that don't want to compete, man. He just want to show up like I think Keith Thurman thinks he's Santa Claus. He thinks he's bearing gifts. He thinks that when he shows up, it's a blessing. Nah, nigga, we don't believe in Santa Claus. We believe in motherfuckers that go to work every day, that bust their ass. Nah, not you, Keith Thurman. Nah. And part two, we don't even recognize your ass at this point. We don't know if you bald, you balding, had a front lace, ponytail, one time, two time, no time. I don't know who you are. We really don't. You know what I mean? After you let that O go, we don't know who the hell you are. I'm just tired. Keith Thurman just can go away somewhere. You know what I mean? Just go back to where's he from? Tampa Bay, Tampa, Florida. Just go enjoy. You made a lot of money in boxing. Hopefully you saved it and invested it. I can tell you made one bad investment. You bought a condo instead of a house. That's a terrible investment. But I would encourage you to use your money wisely. Get a new lace front. You got a beautiful wife. Hopefully you got a kid coming, and just live your best life. You know, you're basically a contender. Like, and I think you're contending to be obsolete. You're contending to be the fifth wheel. You're contending to be the last pick in the NFL draft, Mr. Irrelevant. Like he just don't. He just comes in and robs. He's like Floyd Mayweather against Conor McGregor every time he shows up. He got a ski mask on. And Errol and Al Haymon obliges. Who did he give that man? Mario Barrios. You understand what I'm saying? Like Mario Barrios? Like, nah, man. You go away for 2 years, you come back, you get Mario Barrios in the pay-per-view. What you get? 1.8 million, 2.1 million. Go away. Just go away. Go away. And Jerome Ennis will be waiting on you. You want a belt? Go unify with Jerome Ennis, because Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford will be relinquishing those belts. I would think Errol Spence sooner than Terrence Crawford. And we'll see how that works out. Yeah, he's like a 30-year-old living. He is like a 30-year-old living in the basement, dog. He is. No lie. He's just entitled, spoiled. You know, he's the kind of guy that had two parents till he went to high school. You know what I mean? Like he just snapped, became insecure. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, like Like mom and dad separated. You know what I mean? Like just go away. Keith Thurman don't want to fight. He don't want to fight. And Keith Thurman is one of these fighters that's going to end up broke. But I tell you one thing about Keith Thurman. He can be a great announcer. I don't know about great, but I don't know if he could be a personality or blow by blow guy, but he does have a career at that. I could see him like Timothy Bradley, but I think that Timothy Bradley has gotten a whole lot better. And your job as a fan is to vehemently agree or vehemently disagree. But in terms of his job, I think Timothy Bradley does a hell of a job. I think I haven't heard too much of Andre Ward lately. Was he on the last cast? I don't know. But I think they need to fire one of the other guys. I think that Tesserator and Mark Kringle, one of them need to go. One of them got to do like interviews because they don't add nothing to the simulcast. They're wrong a lot. Andre Ward do correct that man a lot. He corrects one of those two a lot. One of them need to go. They got 4 people on there. They don't need them. I don't know what the second Tesserator or Mark Kringle. I think that one of them is obsolete. If you got 2 people in a relationship doing the same thing, one is obsolete. Let me repeat that again. If you have 2 people in a relationship doing the same thing, one is obsolete. Mark Kringle and Joe Tesserator got to go. That's it. I think Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley do an above average job. I think Timothy Bradley is ahead of Andre Ward at this point, but Andre Ward can be as good as he want to be with his work ethic. But Joe Nosator, he got to go. I'm gonna start calling him Joe Nosator because he called me what he called me when Wilder did an interview on my platform. He was jealous. You jealous? You jealous? Joe Nosator, you jealous, man? Joe Nosator, I'm talking to you. Don't you abuse women? Does Joe Nosator? Let me Google him. I think that Joe Tesserator. Let me see if he got a clean. Let me see what he's about. I don't know. Do he hit women like Max Kellerman? I don't know. Let me hit assault. Assault. Does Joe Tesserator hit women? Man charge after firing shots out window. No, that's not him. Let's see. Nah, he ain't never did anything like that. Nah, he ain't never did anything like that. You lucky because but this is. Let me go to Google. I got a discount double check because he kind of. Thank God I don't value his opinion. Joe Tesserator assault. This is the one thing you'll never see on me. You'll never be able to Google Fred Hawthorne assault. Never, ever, 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 ever. Nah, he ain't never did that. Nah, he ain't never. I don't know. Yeah. But Max Kellerman, he hit his mom. He hit his wife. You know what I mean? All these hitting motherfuckers. Yeah. Yeah, man. Errol said, not today. Not today. Court. Let's see. Court. Joe Tesserator court. I never even thought about this man until tonight. Court case. Joseph Tesserator. Joseph doing the right thing comments. Joe Tesserator said that Ole Miss is doing the right thing after he was carted off the field. Joe Tesserator received strong backlash at the comments. Nah, he got a clean bill of health so far. Yeah, I mean, nah, he ain't got nothing. All right, I'll leave you alone, Joe. But I'm still gonna call you Joe Nosator. You know what I mean? Joe Nosator. Hey, one of y'all got to go. Joe Nosator or Mark Ringle. Mark Ringle or Joe Nosator. One of y'all got to go, man. I think Tim Bradley and Andre Ward is good enough. One of y'all got to go to the side and do like ring reports. It's just too many voices doing the simulcast. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Everybody's doing great, fabulous. It's great to have you here tonight. You know, but EJ is a man of his word. So when he says something, yeah, I believe it. But we're gonna see what that Al Haymon money look like. You know what I mean? That them Al Haymon checks that Drake be talking about. I want to hear what they like. I never seen one before. I never got one before. Oh my God. Dog. Speaking of what I found out, dog. Unbelievable. So this was last 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Somewhere it was about 3 weeks ago. I'm doing research and I said, man, I want to learn about Marvin Gaye today. Marvin Gaye pulled in R. Kelly, y'all. I didn't know that. Marvin Gaye slept with a 14-year-old woman and had a baby. In fucking insane. I didn't know that, dog. I'm like, what the fuck? Man. All these fucking scumbags, I didn't know that, man. I found that out 3 weeks ago, man. Man, I've been listening to Inner City Blues my whole life, man. Damn, man. Karl Malone too, man. Yeah, he was in college. I don't respect Karl Malone at all. I tried to get his son on the show, but he didn't respond. He saw the message, but didn't respond on Instagram. I didn't. Did y'all know that? Yeah, Elvis too. Fuck Elvis too. Fuck them all. Did y'all know that shit? I didn't know that. Yeah, Marvin like dudes too, man. That is sick, dog. I didn't know that, man. I just found that shit out. Man, grown man, fucking 14-year-old girls getting her pregnant, man. And guess who kept the secret? What's the guy's name? Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones kept the secret. Yeah, DJ slept with a 16. I found that out after he retired. Oh, I would have never, man. I would have went to a sign with a Laker game had I known that shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking rapist, man. We acknowledge, we protect rapists, man. Drake dated a 14-year-old too. Oh my God. I don't know. You gotta Google that shit. I gotta do my research. That is some sick, man. Listen, I don't respect no man that do it. I don't give a fuck about your social status. Y'all do. Oh man, we can't talk. We can't. Oh, I said 14-year-old woman. My bad. 14-year-old little girl. But I didn't know that shit, dog. That shit caught me way off base. Steven Tyler married his adopted. God. Yo. How do these people stay relevant? I don't get it, man. What's up, Mr. Johnson? I don't understand it. Marvin Gaye should have been ostracized in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but I don't think so, because if he had I would have known as a little boy. Yeah, I heard about Woody Allen, nasty ass. Oh, that motherfucker disgusting. His adopted daughter, right? Or something like that. Man, that's disgusting. I don't know. It's not cool, man. It's so many. All you got to do. What's legal? 18 or 17? I think some states is 17. Some states are 18. Why not do it that way? You know? Yeah, Bow Wow and Usher. Really? Wow. Damn. Yeah, man, we cover up a lot of sins, man. But I was flabbergasted, man. And then the girl admitted to. Yeah, you got to protect your kids at all costs. Yeah, my kids don't do play dates without a parent. And I will never let my kid play with the kid without a parent being present. We ain't doing that. What's up, Russell Cole? Yeah, man. Oh man, that shit. Hey, you ever had to sit down on a couch for like 5 minutes? I'm sitting on a couch like, huh? I ain't lying. I was just sitting on the couch like I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. But it is what it is, man. And I'm not shocked that he did it. I'm shocked that black people just accept it. Oh, he could sing. Oh, he cool. He could sing. The first thing I'm going to think of now of R. Kelly is he raped a 14-year-old girl. I'm not going to say, oh, man, Ribbon in the Sky is a great song. Now I'm fucking with y'all. Inner City Blues, and you know what I mean? Like, Sexual Healing. I'm gonna say he touched and had a baby with a 14, had the baby at 15 years old. Couldn't believe it. Threw me in a loop. Wow. Sheesh. Could not believe it, man. So as we make an abrupt left turn from that and get back to boxing, but that's the new information that I learned. And then I learned that he used to watch. Listen, dog. And all you do is type in Marvin Gaye. I didn't type in Marvin Gaye rapist. All these articles. I'm like, and my grandma, my mom never told me about this shit. I didn't have a father. My uncles never told me about this shit. You know what they say? Listen to section, that nigga. You know what he used to do? He used to watch his wife have sex with other men. I don't know if he was getting off on a man or the woman. What's up, Quita? You know, like it's oh man. I was 44 years old and just finding that out. And that was in 1980s, 1970 something that shit happened, or whatever year it was, before I was born, probably. Yeah, man. So yeah. But anyways, and then you know what people gonna say? Here's what people were gonna say. Oh, Fred, you shouldn't talk about that shit. I didn't commit the crime. So if I talk about it, I'm wrong. Here's how sick people's minds is. If you rape a little boy or little girl and you talk about it, you are wrong. And the perpetrator should be held in silence. I don't get it. Because the nigga can sing, he's acceptable? Nah. It's something about being a smooth motherfucker like R. Kelly and Marvin Gaye. I think it's something off there, man. You know what I mean? Where they just, yeah, all of them. I don't give a fuck about none of them, man. Listen, I'm not gonna protect a man that touches little girls. I can't do that shit. What good is that gonna do me? You know? Like Oscar. Y'all motherfuckers think Oscar is the greatest fighter in the world. He went to Mexico and touched a little girl. Settled out of court. Elvis too. Elvis a piece of shit too. All of them. You know what I mean? All of them. There's no exception. It's no race exception. See, motherfuckers gonna say, well, what about the white man? I'll fuck them all. Shit, fuck them all, man. They sick. They need to be in jail. Elvis and Marvin Gaye should have been in jail. Sick motherfuckers, man. Matter of fact, Sunday, we're gonna do a show about that. How black people protect perpetrators, man. Marvin Gaye, R. Kelly, Elvis. Elvis was in the black community. Y'all got to help me think of some other ones. I don't know. But James Cleveland, little boys, and he was a motherfucking gospel singer. Oh my gosh, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anybody ask me about Marvin Gaye for the rest of my life? You know he had baby with a 15-year-old girl. Nah, man, that's sick. That's sick, man. Shit. Damn. I'm gonna make a left turn from that and get back to Errol Spence. Fuck it. Making the dark. Making The dark, too much money. Yeah. And then they fall prey. And then they fall prey when people have the secrets. Then they got to do what the man who has the secrets do. And that man was Quincy Jones. Yeah, and where's that Maxwell list? I want that Maxwell list. You were exactly right. Where's the list at? But it's going to come out. You know why? Because there's going to be a little inquisitive 23-year-old boy or girl that's in the court system. It always comes out, y'all. You ain't got to worry about it. It's going to come out. It's in the court documents, especially in 2022, unlike in the 60s where it's paperwork. Nah, that shit is on files now. So it's going to get released. Trust me. Some guy that can hack a computer will get released. Trust me. And when it come out, it's going to be startling. And you know what people going to say? Oh man, that shit is old, man. Why you got to let him do that? Nah, man. It ain't old. Arrest them. Them little boys and little girls got to live with that for the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of this thing, man. You know what I mean? It's just sick out here, man. We got sick people out here. I wonder if Kyle knew about that. Kyle, do you know about Marvin Gaye? I didn't. I'm 44 and just found out Marvin Gaye. And I literally been listening to Marvin Gaye my whole life. And I drive by his house purposely when I'm in the neighborhood in the 20s. Purposely drive by his house just because. You know what I mean? Had no fucking idea. I guess we ain't talking about boxing. Fuck boxing. You know what I mean? But it is some sick shit, man. It's some sick shit. Oh, they definitely gonna release it after all the people are dead and they have no value to our society. Oh, fuck yeah. But if they release that list, it's gonna be presidents, vice presidents, first ladies, senators, music executives, VPs. Oh, that shit going. Oh man. Is she still alive or did they kill her? One of them got killed in jail. Is she dead or alive? The woman that went to jail. They gave her 20 years. She might tell. Might be civil rights leaders, all of them. Listen, I'm not protecting none of them niggas. Nah. I ain't doing none of that shit. What's up, Nate?
What's up, man? Hey, yo, Fred.
Yeah.
You know what time it is, Fred? You seen it. You seen it, Fred. I told you last year. I told all you niggas last year. I told all you stubborn ass niggas last year what was going to be the fight that was going to be made. The next biggest fight in fucking
Errol
boxing.
Spence just said, but no chance. I said what I meant. I meant what
I said. Man. I love Errol Spence, man. He a real warrior. You know what time it is, Fred. I respect fighters that take risks. I respect them all. Every fighter that at least take one risk in their career where it's a tough fight. It's a tough fight. You shouldn't take that fight, man. You should just take a tune-up. You should take another fight, probably, man. I respect that shit. It takes a lot of balls, a lot of huevos to do it. It takes a lot. But I'm sorry, Errol Spence is not the boss, Fred, and you know that. Al Haymon is the boss. He is the boss. Stephen Ness knows it. He is the boss. Spence and them PBC boys have no power. None. He can say all he wants. I ain't taking Thurman. Guess what's going to happen? He don't take that Thurman fight. They're going to put his ass on ice. They're going to put his ass on fucking ice. It's either you're going to fight, keep Thurman, or you're going to be on ice. I mean, you got two choices. Or they're going to push their boots mandatory on his ass. And I don't think Errol wants that fight. I don't think he wants boots. What upside is there for that fight? He has more to lose than the game. So you take that Keith Thurman fight, make a lot of money. He's still gonna make, and Keith Thurman's gonna sell the shit out of that fight better than Terrence Bud Crawford is. You know that, Fred. Bud Crawford's not gonna say too much. He's not gonna sell the fight. And look, I'm gonna be honest. I want to see Crawford and Spence, but let's be honest. Somebody's making this fight difficult. Somebody is refusing to just sign and agree to what's given to them. Just take the fight. Do what Floyd did with Oscar De La Hoya. Do what Canelo did with Miguel Cotto. Be the B-side. Just take the fight and kick some ass. Be the man. That's it. And I'm not going to say no names. I understand what you say about don't bend and don't fold. But look, I'm sorry. Al Haymon and Stephen Nesbitt Espinosa, they hold the cards. They're the one giving up the money. There is no sponsor out there who's gonna put some money up in thin air for this fight. There is none. Talk to them celebrities in Hollywood. Ask them, hey, can you put up money to make this fight happen? They're like, fuck no. I ain't putting no money for this shit. I'll watch it, but I ain't paying no money for it to make this fight. I ain't paying them niggas 20 each. They not. You know this shit, Fred. You know this shit. Go ask LeBron James. Hey, LeBron, you can make so much money. You're a billionaire now. Can you give them niggas 20 so we get this fight to happen? And LeBron like, fuck no. And I'm sorry. I love Spence and Crawford. Real warriors. Future Hall of Famers. But let's be honest. Somebody's making this fight difficult. And if the longer they hold out, you're going to see Spence versus Thurman, whether Spence wants it or not. Remember, Spence was complaining at one point in time that he couldn't get a fight.
Spence, really? I think that's news to me.
Remember years ago, I think he was either mandatory to Kell Brook, but Kell Brook was holding out for so long, or he was the champ. He was a fresh champ. He was calling out everybody from Danny to Sean.
Oh, when he was the IBF champ.
Yeah, he was fresh though. He was just like probably like maybe a couple weeks or a month and a half from it, and he was trying to get anybody to fight him, and no one didn't want to fight him, and he was complaining. It sounded like he might be leaving Al because they couldn't get these guys to fight him, and he was very upset. Remember he made that video. He had to fight his cousin or his friend in the fucking streets, just body punching.
I saw that. But he was just frustrated. Danny and none of them guys would fight him because they say he wasn't ready. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm sure he told Al, "Hey Al, man, look, this Errol. And look, Al, man, look. Look, I'm that new guy. I'm the guy you need to invest in. I'm telling you, I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm ready. I'll beat any of them niggas' asses. Give me Danny. Give me Thurman. Give me all of them. Put them in the line. I'm gonna knock them down, man down. Scrap season." And Al was like, "Yeah, okay. Well, let me make this call. Danny, what do you think about this fight? Well, how much I'm gonna get for this fight? Yada yada. This numbers. Oh no, I don't want that fight. Let me go fight Porter or Thurman. Thurman, what do you think about this fight?
That's the problem.
That's look, Al, it's your Keith. Boy, one time Thurman, I'm your favorite. I'm your favorite. Just look out for me, baby. Look out for me. Look, Errol, we could push that back down the line. Give me a couple more years. I gotta heal from this injury here, there, third, and I'll be ready. Just tell me, hold on. Sean, what do you think about this fight? It needs to be on pay-per-view first. I'm just saying. I love both them fighters, but somebody's making it difficult and not playing ball. And they got these two guys who are bosses over both of them. And they're not going to bend and break for these fighters, Fred. You know this shit. They're not. They're putting up the money. Yeah,
they are. They're not going to bend. What do you think of they waiting for Canelo to get done with Triple G?
Man, Canelo, I hate to say this, man, because we can't compare Canelo to them two guys. They can't.
No, not compare. I'm talking about like maybe they're going to go after Canelo after this fight.
Of course.
Well, he got one more fight in December, but maybe they want one of them fighters to fight Canelo.
Of course. Yeah. PBC holds all the cards to Canelo's future fights, honestly.
Yeah, they do.
They hold the cards between them and Top Rank. If he so choose to still go after that, better be smoke.
Nah, he ain't going after.
But and if not, if Anthony Yard pulls off the massive upset, then there's that as well. So PBC holds all the future cards for Canelo's fights that's gonna help sell. And so yeah, they sitting pretty. They don't give a fuck if this fight happens or not, in my opinion. They want it to happen, but how much is interesting because now Keith Thurman is number one on the WBC rankings for Spence. He's basically pretty much in mandatory position. And that tells you all you need to know right there. That, like, I'm a Thurman fan, but let's be honest. He should not have earned that spot. He shouldn't. There's no way in hell without him fighting Staniosis or Boots. No way in hell. But he's there. He's there. And if Spence don't make this fight happen, don't be surprised. Mauricio Solomon says, look, Errol, Thurman's next. Or you got to drop that belt. So you got 30 days. So don't be surprised. So Errol's gonna be moving up to 154 if this fight don't happen, in my opinion. And that's gonna be interesting. Because he did say he would fight his own stablemate if they bring the money. And I don't understand that because they're not trying to bring him the money for the biggest fight in boxing. I don't understand that statement. He said, I'll fight Jamel. Yeah, if they bring me the money, they ain't trying to give you the fight that you want. So I agree with when you said that Errol Spence should be a little frustrated with Al Haymon at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's all gonna come out in the wash. Errol is gonna say, I wanted this. Errol not gonna say fuck Al Haymon like I will. He gonna be like, I wanted this fight. I held strong. If Errol say something like that, you know the nigga was bullshitting with the money. You know, and it's gonna come out. Errol, what took so long, man? You fought in April. Why you ain't got no date? And Errol should be in the fight. Oh, it's no fight Errol's going to in the near future. Not unless Jamal or Frank Martin is fighting.
Well, Maurice Hooker is fighting this weekend.
Or maybe he'll be in Vegas because they got that boxing fan boxing whatever that big show. So maybe he'll do that. Maybe he'll go to Canelo Triple G because he'll have a booth for the fans. You know.
Yeah, I mean, look, it sucks, man. I'm trying to think of other avenues this fight can be made. I thought of maybe they can go overseas and try to get a sponsor.
They better go holler at Eddie. That's what they do. They better go. What's up, Caesar? They better go holler at Eddie, man. Eddie, hey, I'm gonna be honest. I was in the car today, and I really thought about. And I'm just thinking from I don't give a fuck about y'all Hotep niggas anyway. But I was just thinking about from a business standpoint. No, think about this. How did Eddie get Anthony Joshua $40 million after an embarrassing loss?
Good God Almighty, man. Yeah, that's a
part two. How did Usyk get $40 million?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think Usyk is selling ass to seats.
Fucking insane, y'all.
I don't think Usyk is selling out arenas by himself.
No.
AJ maybe, but Usyk, fuck out of here. You know he.
Oh man, what's up, Keon? Yeah, man, the great Keon, man. Hey, man, shout out to Keon's resiliency, man. Motherfucker, house burned down, motherfucker, back in 2 days, man. Shout out to you, dog. Much respect. But man, it's I thought about it today. I did a video, and I'm on the freeway in traffic and shit, and I'm on the 110 freeway, y'all, and I'm like, and I really put it into perspective. I said, this is unbelievable what this man did. No fighter is worth $40 million after a loss.
No.
But guess what? If I can do it once, I can do it what?
Twice.
Canelo, $40 fucking million after a clear loss.
Yep. Yeah, Eddie.
How does he do this shit?
He learned from the Bob father. I guarantee you, Eddie got tips from
unfucking believable, y'all. And guess what? He ain't making no money on the gate.
He already got his money.
That's what I'm saying.
Eddie don't give a fuck. He got his money.
He's not obligated. He's not obligated to put butts in the seats at all.
Nope. He don't give a shit. He don't care.
Insane. Dog, this is insane, man. His money spout in the Middle East is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This fight, like, I feel like Crawford Spence, man, they should just like try to fill offers.
Man, go get 25 million each and go to the Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, fight on top
America.
of fight on top of the Pyramid of Giza or something. Shit.
Yeah, fuck our spoiled asses, man. Go get your money. Hey, Eddie would be like, what's your cut? You got to pay Al, Errol.
Oh shit.
No, I'm serious. Like, okay, I'll get you your guarantee, and I'll pay your percentage to Eddie. I mean to Al.
But that's the problem with Al, man. It seems like he don't take those type of chances unless he clearly.
Al can't stop him. Al doesn't have a position. He don't have a position in boxing. He has a position as their manager outside of boxing, but within the confines of boxing, Al has no power over these fighters.
Then if this fight is pretty getting close to August something, let's say in the middle of August, Errol.
Labor Day.
Errol, he's the A side. He's the man. He's the king. He's everything else. He needs to put his foot down and say, look, if you don't give me this fucking fight, I'm cutting my losses, dude. Like, you're not giving me what I need. I told you this is what I want. And I'm sure he's been told out. Look, I'll do this, I'll do that, and I'll do this. No problem, boss.
Yeah,
but this is what I want at the end after all this. And you don't give it to me, fuck you. I'm gonna cut my losses. We going overseas with this fight. We gonna make our money, and everybody go on and watch it. And you can sit there holding your fucking laurels. So that's what my opinion.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say fuck. I'm just gonna say this: if you are a PBC fighter like Jamel Charlo, how about you call Eddie Hearn, and how about you fight Conor Ben at 154 for all the belts?
Yeah. I think that would make a lot more money than some fucking Tim.
Shit.
My opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like that's the play for him. Fuck that 4th belt. Take 4 of those 5 belts over to the UK, sell that motherfucker out, and I guarantee you'll get a career high payday.
Yeah, I don't know what's in them contracts. I think that Al Haymon has too much power on.
He has power over them, but he can't stop them. All he can do is sue them, because there's government in America that says the Ali Act can protect any fighter. So what I'm saying is, if he can fight Eubanks or Conor and get $10 million for all 4 belts.
Chris Eubank, I don't know. Chris Eubank is cherry picking right now. I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, if any American champion goes over to the UK, we always say they get the career high payday. They always say that shit.
They do, though. Honestly, you look at Charles Martin. Look at
Charles Martin.
Who else went over there? It's a couple American fighters that went over there and got career high paydays. I forgot. It's a couple more actually.
I'm just saying. Jamal Charlo, he should go fight. He should go fight that Japanese kid who just lost. Go fight him in Japan. Kawasaki will support you. Whatever that man's name is, Honda. He need a big event in the Tokyo Dome.
But that, yeah, you know what? I agree with you in the sense that they need to go overseas and get these fights. I think Al Haymon has even less power when it's in overseas.
He has no power. What do you think? Why you think Amir Khan is just be floating? Amir Khan figured this shit out. Al Haymon not gonna sue me. If Al Haymon sue me, I'll fuck his business plan up. If Al Haymon sued Daniel Jacobs, he would sue. He should sue. He should sue the fuck out of Al Haymon.
Yeah, I think some of these fighters they're not taking precedence over their career, and they put too much trust in Al Haymon, man. It really is. At the end of the day, it's a business, and they gotta look at it that this dude is going to protect himself first and foremost.
Yeah, you can still name your. Let me bring in Fernando. Okay. You can still bring your son in as and still name your son after Al Haymon if you want, like Leo. You know, what's up, Fernando?
Oh, what's up, Fred?
Hey, what's up?
So you guys remember in 2013 when Mayweather was gonna fight Canelo Alvarez, and there was rumors about the Danny Garcia Lucas Matisse fight happening, but it may not. Like it was iffy, and then Richard Schaefer somehow was able to get the funding to get that undercard done, and I think like with his banking background, like not anymore because he fell off, especially after the lawsuit between Golden Boy, Premier Boxing Champions and Top Rank, and you know he was exiled from the game. But I felt like he was good with this type of stuff, like with the fight between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Like he just knew how to talk to the corporate sponsors and you know those type of dealings and getting that pot of money. He did possess, you know, he was very capable of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Richard Schaefer is the crown jewel to make a lot of good fights happen, but that was back then. Now it seems like the industry just don't, you know, they're cutting their losses with him mostly. He mostly gets deals done through single name fighters, and that's only if the other fighter really wants that fight with one of his fighters, and guess what? He has to give them up.
Well,
so yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, let me wake y'all niggas up real quick. Check, because you just brought something to my attention. I'm gonna show y'all how Leonard Ellaby and Foy be bullshitting. Look, how many former TMT fighters do you see on the Eddie Hearn card?
2.
Two,
Andrew
exactly.
Tabiti and Badu Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Motherfuckers ain't got no money over there. Eddie Hearn should do. Eddie Hearn, I know you watching. I know Eddie Hearn watches some of my shit because he takes my sound bites a lot and takes them his own. Eddie, holla at me. Let's do an interview where we can just ether Leonard Ellaby.
Hey,
Look
hey,
at
hey,
this
Fred.
shit. Look at this shit.
Fred,
It's over. What's
Fred,
up?
you should try to holler at them type of fighters that basically left, like Badu Jack and Tabiti. Like, how in the hell a lot of these fighters seem like they can't leave? I know you said they can, but they just seem like they just stuck.
So in Tabiti's case, he went for the World Boxing Super Series, and I think that was kind of against the advice of what PBC had in store for him. And then when he lost against the Cuban fighter, I forget his name, Dorticos.
Got flatlined.
And it was hard for him to get a date afterwards.
Yeah, but he still could have. Andrew Tabiti, after that wave, he would have been a world champion.
Yeah, but he was inactive.
I know. Oh, he's been inactive. And I'm just gonna say this. I can't even count how many TMT fighters have reached out to me, especially during COVID. I ain't really been popping since COVID, but during COVID, nigga. Oh, excuse me, but man, you know how many former TMT fighters said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give you an exclusive interview." They ain't never get it, but they give me information. They're like, "Hey, say this shit on your show. Say that. Say this."
But what do you think about that advisory deal that he has in these fighters' contracts?
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so Al Haymon. So you guys brought up a good point as to why more PBC fighters don't go outside and get Saudi money, Australian money, Japanese money, right?
Hell yeah.
So Al Haymon has he sold a portion of his company to what is now Live Nation. And Live Nation sort of kind of has a monopoly on a lot of the live events venues throughout the United States, especially on the West Coast. Like I think Al Haymon has a special relationship with Staples Center, the Forum, and something in Ontario, California. I forget the name of that place. So just with the way that his legacy business model is, he gets a special deal on utilizing venues within the United States. And they also give him a large, what do you call it? Like he has autonomy. Like they give him creative control on how he wants to run the show and things like that. If he goes outside of the United States, it's kind of against, every company has like their business model and it doesn't really go well. He tried once to penetrate the UK market, I think with ITV. He tried to use Chris Eubank and the James DeGale fight.
I remember that.
But he wasn't ever fully invested in that because he's still like Drake says, he's still involved in the music promotion industry and the boxing promotion industry. So when he deals with venues, he follows somewhat of the music format. I don't know if he has a seat, like a board seat in Live Nation or whatever.
Yeah, he does. He owned a piece of it.
Yeah, so he only sold half of his company to Live Nation. So
yeah. So that means he has access to it. Yeah.
So his boxing business runs parallel to his music business. That's how I think. I'm not entirely sure on the mechanics of how it works.
Interesting. That's very interesting. That's something to definitely look into.
And Live Nation, they have a strong. They got a strong hold on all the live venues in the United States. I think Joe Biden wants to break them. Well, Joe Biden administration is looking to possibly break up live.
Well,
I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna look at the. Well, keep talking. I'll look it up as you guys are talking.
So my thing is this: if he's going by a music industry type of template of where he runs his business model in America. Can these fighters, like for example, Spence and Crawford, just say, look, like what I was saying, look, try to find some international sponsors and get the money. They got the money. Can they just make the fight themselves that way and just leave out Al Haymon?
No, because the backers, remember so we have to look at why boxing is not very corporate and not very mainstream. There's a lot of fiefdoms. The promoters are a fiefdom. Boxing doesn't look to put on the best televised product. The reason why you have a pay-per-view is so that nobody flips the channel. Like once you buy in, you buy in. That's probably one of the reasons why Floyd Mayweather says I robbed the bank with the Conor McGregor fight, because it's like if you were a real person that follows boxing, you kind of knew the outcome, but he drew you in, you clicked order, and now you're not going to change the channel when you pay out $100 or $80, whatever the case may be. So these big corporate, conglomerates or monopolies, or like a CBS Viacom, or I can't name all the names. Fred probably knows them better than me. They're conditioned to deal with an Al Haymon. They're conditioned to deal with a Bob Arum. Even Matchroom, like with Eddie Hearn, his pops and him have been doing it for what, 3 to 4 decades.
Mm-hmm.
They know, and the thing with Matchroom is they're also a production company. So he'll tell the Saudis, like, okay, you guys do the event coordination, the actual, like the legwork for the promotion. Let me handle the televised product. So, and Eddie's a guy that, like, so they'll look, business people do things with a long-term scope in mind. So when Top Rank does business with ESPN, Bob Arum has already said that he kind of flirts with the idea of selling Top Rank Incorporated to Disney, right? So him doing current business with the ESPN is just kind of like a segue into that. If it should happen, like if the deal makes sense, he'll do the deal. But he's already doing business with ESPN. So with Matchroom and the Saudis, Eddie Hearn, DAZN USA is half owned by DAZN. I mean, Matchroom USA, 50% of Matchroom USA is owned by DAZN. And it's on that dime Eddie Hearn was traveling the world and doing shows in different places. And that's how we learned the global market, met the right people. And, that's how he experiments. But he experiments because he's not financing that experiment. That experiment is financed by DAZN, and that's how this whole Saudi thing happened. And then you're gonna say, well, DAZN didn't get the UK rights to the Anthony Joshua Alexander Usyk fight, but when he probably initially pitched the idea to them, because Eddie works for himself more so than DAZN. Remember, only the Matchroom USA entity is 50% owned by DAZN. There's still the Matchroom, the main company, which he's kind of shopping that around to either go public or give a piece of it to a private equity company to get more funding. But that's a different story. So Eddie Hearn is kind of playing, like, he's I don't want to say he's playing DAZN, but he's in the business for himself.
He did play him. He got a good deal out of it.
yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah, and also, I think Al Haymon fighters, they like Al Haymon because when they talk about back end money, they're really talking about deferred payments, and it's a tax advantage strategy where, so that's what fighters mean by back end money. And because Al Haymon is either an advisor or a manager as opposed to a promoter, he has the fiduciary duty and the legality to set up this whole deferred payment thing. And in Adrian Broner's case, he's got so many lawsuits, and then he's got the whole, like, kids by multiple women that they always want more. So Al Haymon structured it in a way where he'll give him the $1,000 a day or I don't know, $1,500 a day, and that's his expense money, that's allowance money, but it protects Broner because, I don't need to go into the obvious.
Yeah. Okay, so my thing is this, is that does he do it with every fighter?
No. So the first batch of fighters, Floyd Mayweather, I think he signed Andre Berto before Floyd Mayweather. Am I wrong or am I correct?
Yeah, Berto was his first.
Okay, so the first batch of fighters, he's got like these batch years, right? That batch where he got the Waddell and Reed money, and he also was paying for television slots of different networks, they get the full red carpet Al Haymon treatment. Hence Leo Santa Cruz naming his son after him. Deontay Wilder gets the full red carpet Al Haymon treatment. Now, once the business got too big and there became too many fighters, certain fighters don't get that red carpet treatment. And I also don't think he's an advisor for certain fighters. The fighters that are funneled in from Sean Gibbons, from Samson Lukowitz, with the exception of David Benavidez, And what's the other guy that brings in fighters to him? I can't think of it. But those new crop of fighters that are brought in with middlemen, they don't get the red carpet treatment. That's how I think his business model is set up, because he doesn't have the time for it anymore. He's spread thin already. He's already spread very thin, so he can't just give an attention to detail for the 200 plus fighters now.
Yeah, look what he did to Andy Ruiz. That man was, in my opinion, the GOAT, man. You had a Mexican, the first Mexican heavyweight champ, and you had him sitting. Like, what the fuck? And now he's finally getting to fight, what, a year layoff in some months?
Yeah, but so for that particular situation, you look at what Devin Haney's going through right now. Devin Haney's kind of taking a position where it's like, yeah, we could do the rematch with George Kambosos, but I need more money. I don't know if Devin Haney has like the leverage, the positioning leverage in order to warrant that. I mean, you get what you negotiate, so I'm all for Devin Haney getting more money. And the Andy Ruiz rematch against Anthony Joshua, Al Haymon had, and we all use the word clout like it's like a popularity contest. That's not what clout is. Al Haymon uses clout to get Andy Ruiz more money, even though there was a rematch clause with stipulations on, the monetary stuff, but he still got him more money because he held out. So he can't get, he has a lack of fight dates, which is his problem. That's not the viewer or consumer's problem. But there's a crop of fighters that he did very well by, but he's always gonna fail in having enough fight dates for his fighters. That's something that his business model was never. I don't know. He just doesn't have enough fight dates. He's got to either do a deal with Paramount Plus, or I don't know what he's gonna do, but he needs more dates.
Do you think that there's a possibility he can go to YouTube pay-per-view? Because I heard someone say, yeah, just do stuff on YouTube pay-per-view or Amazon Prime, or go to one of them streaming.
If he does go streaming, I see him doing business within the CBS Viacom umbrella. That's just how I see it. Even when he did deals where he did time buys, that's him taking all the risk. So the long-term partner with him throughout, I guess the what do you call it? The big exodus, when like all the fighters went to Showtime and they split from HBO. The Showtime's been with, and he's been dealing with Steven Espinoza since Steven Espinoza was a Golden Boy guy. I don't see that relationship dissolving anytime soon.
Well, Kyle, you got something?
How'd you get all this information?
I mean,
I was he came on for that Marvin Gaye shit, man. That really hurt my damn soul, man.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't come here to give a damn about Al Haymon nor Eddie Hearn.
Oh shit!
I came for one reason and one reason only. I'm over here talking to my girl, listen to the show, and motherfuckers start talking about Marvin Gaye. I said, "Oh man, another one."
Well, in those cases, there are parents that are responsible as well. They kind of, offered their kids up. Like the girl's mom is the one that brought her to the studio session when Marvin Gaye was recording. The case with Aaliyah and R. Kelly is something to do with R. Kelly's manager was the uncle of Aaliyah, and I don't know. They funnel the kids through in a certain type of way. It's not so much happenstance. It's an engineered situation, basically.
Oh man.
What was the whole story though, Fred, about Marvin Gaye?
He had a baby with a 14, 15-year-old.
How old was he? How was he? Like what stage of his career was this at?
The girl was 14. He was like 27 or something like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, let's finish Fernando though. I'm very interested on you finishing up what you had to say.
I mean, that was it. I didn't say anything you didn't already know. You're in the LA area. You know all about Al Haymon's promotional company before he got into boxing. And if you want to know why he's not going into outside markets, he runs a business parallel to the Live Nation stuff that's going on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was hoping Spence and Crawford can just, go outside of that.
If you guys remember when Floyd Mayweather was doing time, and I think the Tommy Summers guy sent them a handwritten letter, and he was talking about site fees and how there's a possibility that Al maybe, what do you call it, taking some of the site fee, or maybe Floyd's not seeing all of the site fee. Well, that site fee, that comes from a legacy relationship, right? And they try to bring 50 Cent in, and I don't know how that whole mess ended up unfolding. But there's a monopolization with these venues, and if you have to go through a gatekeeper, in order to secure a date and have the show go on.
Yeah, that makes sense. That monopolization on venues, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I couldn't get the word.
The Justice Department is looking into Live Nation pretty recently. I don't know. I can't say now. I don't know if they dropped everything, but they were looking into it because Live Nation, Ticketmaster, there's a whole thing going on there.
What do you think about what the ABC is doing against the WBA?
Well, they need to look into the WBC because I don't know how Keith Thurman became number one with that much inactivity, and then he lifted a 140-pounder coming off of a loss to a career 135-pounder. Like, I'm not gonna get mad at Keith. I'm looking at like, yo, who's the people that's running this stuff? Because the sanctioning body is the one that's supposed to make everything fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I read you. I know you read the article. I read it. I was just like, yeah, they might. I think they are starting the investigation. They might be starting it, and they're not too sure. But the thing when they asked Greg Cohen about all that type of stuff, what was going on, and what they were doing with Gilberto Mendoza, the president at WBA, it opened up a lot of can of worms that they more than likely probably will investigate because of the fact that a lot of things he said contradicted what the president of the WBA was saying, how they run things.
Well, Fred, I want to ask Fred one question. Fred,
yes.
So obviously Keith Thurman has a lot of marquee value in the welterweight division, but when we talk about potential upside, how does Steven Espinoza look at the situation? When it comes to upside, Jaron Ennis offers him more upside than Keith Thurman, and you probably get Jaron Ennis twice a year for the next 3 to 4 years, whereas Thurman, you might get 1 to 2 fights out of him tops. So what does Steven Espinoza do in this particular situation?
I think he saves him for the relinquishing of the belts, and then he puts him in position to get all the belts. Just because he'll have a clean slate and he's gonna make a run that's fucking astounding. Jaron Ennis is about to make a run at the welterweight division that we haven't seen but in a long time, since Sugar Ray Leonard. And what I mean by that is he's gonna be knocking motherfuckers out.
Yes, he is, but with like his physical dimensions, I don't see him being at 147 for more than 2 tops 3 fights. So in those 2 to 3 fights,
you don't know Jaron Ennis thing.
So in those 2 to 3 fights, do you see Steven Espinoza somehow getting him a Keith Thurman?
No, I don't think so. Just because of Al Haymon. That's a Cameron Duncan guy. Al Haymon would never give Cameron Duncan a shot at his reign.
Okay, so do you see a situation where Jaron Ennis feels that there's an incentive to sign to PBC and give them a commitment if you give me the big name?
It's coming close.
No, I don't think so, because Cameron Duncan won't do it. He said he did it before with Leo Santa Cruz, with Al and Tim Bradley. Go watch my last interview with Cameron Duncan, and as you listen to the interview, you'll be able to hear. He said he's not giving up these guys. He's not giving up the Asian guy. He's not giving up the guy in Atlanta, and he's not giving up Jaron Ennis because he made a mistake last time and it didn't work out for him.
I look at the Devin Haney situation, and I feel like, I know you don't agree with him signing to Top Rank, but I feel like him being undisputed allows his career to be a lot different than Demetrius Andrade's career, because like you need all the accolades and all the marketability you can get so that you don't get frozen out. So like look at Demetrius Andrade right now. Like, it didn't look good. Like he was, I don't know if he was intoxicated or whatever, but he was asking an English guy, a guy from England, the United Kingdom, for a fight. And he said he offered him $1 million or whatever, when that guy's about to fight a blown up welterweight for multiple millions of dollars. But I feel like, these guys got to do everything they can when they're young, because as they get older, you never want to get frozen out once you're on, because that you're gonna make the most money once you're on. So you make the sacrifices earlier on before you get like to that mountaintop. Because once you get to that mountaintop, you want to squeeze every single dollar you can from the game. Because afterwards, you're not going to make money that fast, right? You might have passive investments, you might have real estate, but you're never going to make those same instant singular paydays that you do from boxing. So that's why I feel like it's important for Jerron Ennis to get like a marquee name like a Keith Thurman, even though
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought that guy was gonna be Sean Porter, to be honest with you, but Sean knew it. Sean knew what was next. Sean, like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm a borderline Hall of Famer. I'm gonna rest on that. How do you know so much about boxing? Have you done?
No, I follow it. I mean, it's common sense, you know. Like, you know what's crazy? I don't think a lot of these guys that watch boxing like actually, you know, read through financial statements or read any 10Ks to find out that like when they start caping for certain promotions, like Bob Arum will say he lost money on 1 or 2 fights. He does more than 50 shows a year. He's not going to tell you he made money on the other 49, 48 fights. So we're still talking about, and then this is the thing. So he lost money on the Tyson Fury Wilder fights, right? But Top Rank Inc., like his value isn't actually the promotion. It's that library that he has. So any company that's trying to buy Top Rank Incorporated, they're looking at that crazy library. You got the Muhammad Ali fights. He's got a crazy archive in there. And this Tyson Fury Wilder fight, like this was the most exciting heavyweight fight in a while. So although like in the beginning, it looks like it's in the red. No. That like they're gonna make documentaries and all this stuff off of his footage, and that's where the real money is. So he might say he lost money or whatever, but the real money is the footage, the library. I think Devin Haney structured his deal to where like he has rights to his fights. It's like, so if he wants to put something on YouTube or put something in his own documentary, he could do it.
I appreciate you enlightening us on that. Anybody else want to respond, ask a question? What's up, Johnny Rice? Smart man.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions.
Forever Rice? Forever Johnny Rice in here?
I don't know if that's him, but
that's Johnny Rice. Johnny,
we love you, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny, you funny, man. Get you a podcast, man. You a funny ass guy. Hey, I'm getting paid, baby.
Hey,
but I got a question. I got a question.
I'm gonna bring in Coach A. Give me a second, Coach A, after this question. Oh, he hung up. Okay, but go ahead.
So Fernando, I got a question. So when if you see certain fighters, for example, that they can leave outside their promotion, right? And they're signed to the same person as the other fighters, they can just bounce around, but other fighters don't. Is that just the fighter's choice? Or is that
it's case by case. It's case by case. So like what Keith Connolly did for Danny Jacobs, he couldn't do for Adam Kaunaki, right? So it's a case by case thing.
Interesting.
Well, he was doing it though. He was doing it.
Interesting though. That's interesting.
Had he not got knocked out, he was on his way.
No, yeah. If Adam Kaunaki didn't get knocked out, he was going to get a fight with Deontay Wilder, and that would probably be a financial package somewhat similar to what he would have got for an Anthony Joshua fight, right? But the problem is you got to get there. He wasn't able to get there. But yeah.
So fighters get punished if they lose.
No, I'm not going to say that. No, your market value goes down when you lose.
Okay.
Right. So they market Adam Kaunaki as like a Polish fighter, and they had him fight in Brooklyn where there's a strong Polish community, and that was that. He lost twice. He's coming off of 2 back-to-back defeats, so now he's got to start from ground zero.
So do you agree that if your market value is high, or the higher your market value is, you have more control?
Obviously, yeah, you always have leverage with greater market value. So like Ryan Garcia, even though he was already in a contract, he held out and he's like, yo, we got to redo this deal. And they redid the deal. So they know he's a draw. They know he's a draw.
Interesting.
Look. Because Gennady Golovkin, this is the weirdest thing. Because Gennady Golovkin was fighting frequently, like he was very, very active, Air Jordan did a deal with Gennady Golovkin over a Danny Jacobs, over a Jamal Charlo. And Air Jordan mainly markets to the urban community. So just by staying active, you're more marketable, and you have leverage.
Interesting. Okay, case by case, more marketable. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So my hypothesis about these fighters having case by case cases when it comes to who can do what, who can't, isn't necessarily just lawyer work. It depends on
Well,
the
no, yeah.
circumstance.
So look, Deontay Wilder, he has Shelly Finkel, and then like I think Shelly Finkel could talk to Al Haymon in a way that Deontay Wilder may not be able to reach an Al Haymon, or Keith Connolly might be able to talk to Al Haymon in a way that a Danny Jacobs can't. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got to have an advocate for you. So those are the scenarios.
but would you recommend fighters who just feel like they may be stuck to go reach out to those people?
Look, if you really want quality control for cards, you got to have the television. I mean, not well, it's all like you got to have the television networks control quality. But here's the thing: boxing is such a small agenda on their thing that they're like, okay, you promoters, you do what you want with this money, right? So they did that with, like, Fox did that with PBC. Like, okay, Al, here, take this money and, like, do something with it. Then when the statement started coming back and they kind of found out he was losing money, that's when they tightened the operation up and they're like, yo, we're not giving you no more money. It's all on pay-per-view. The best thing fighters could do is form a fighters union. They got the social media and all that stuff to talk to each other. They form a union and they let the union deal directly with the television network or whatever, and then let the promoter put on the show depending on the jurisdiction. So, if it's New York, let Top Rank do it. If it's Vegas, well, Top Rank could do it, or Al Haymon could do it. If it's like that. If it's Texas, let Golden Boy do it. That's how it should be, right? But the way that it's going, like, fight, nobody really wants to. There's no fighter empowerment. And in a sport where your career only lasts, 10, 12, tops 13, 14, 15 years, nobody really wants to take a chance in forming a union and dealing directly with the entertainment business.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you can go ahead.
How much power do you think Al Haymon has with AEG?
You said APG?
AEG.
Is that the...
Yeah, the venue company.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a tough one, Fred.
I don't know.
Shit, because that's a mystery right there. I don't know. You might be. Yeah, I was about to say. I don't know.
I know he has a strong network in the West Coast, just because he did a lot of work with I think he did work with Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy. He did work with Beyonce. He did a lot of work with Beyonce.
Yeah, now Drake. Drake. He was with Michael Jackson and all that. Yeah.
And you'll see factions that don't, like, in the hip hop world or the music world, you'll see factions that don't get along with Al Haymon that still can't do business with Al Haymon to this day. So Jay-Z can't do business with Al Haymon anymore. That's why he tried to do the Rock Nation boxing, but he got frozen out. And then you got Jay Prince, who he uses the Top Rank infrastructure to manage his fighters.
I see. That's interesting. So,
I think Mike Tyson had Iron. I think he had Iron Mike Productions or something like that. Did a lot of like Roy Jones has so Roy Jones gets distributed to the UFC network. So Roy Jones has some type of company where his fights get shown on the UFC network, which is that's definitely different. That's out there.
The fight is that part of the Fight Pass?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know why a lot of these fighters don't do that either. They don't use their promotional companies, not just for boxing.
The last guy to do that was Sugar Ray Leonard, right? Fred could tell me if I'm wrong. I think it was Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, he actually did a case by case. I mean, no, he did it. Yeah, he did a deal by deal. Like, he'll deal with a promoter for one fight. And then he really
Bob
did
Arum.
it.
He did it with Bob Arum. If I'm not mistaken.
There you go.
No, he had his lawyer though. I forgot the lawyer.
He tried to X them all out, but all the fighters back then were scared.
Yeah, well, fighters have social media now. They have access to more information. Like, if you want to look up court cases, you could just Google it. Before you sign to somebody, you could look up how many court cases they have against them. And you could kind of get a gist of what goes on from there. You just gotta open up your laptop and just start typing away into the search box, take some notes, and that's really it.
Why do you think fighters don't do that? Do you think it's because they just focus on training so much?
I think they get the problem with another thing with fighters is like everything happens so quickly, right? You could be a prospect to a contender in one fight. You could be a contender to a world champion in one fight. So they don't really anticipate things on a long-term scale because they don't look at things in a long-term scale. They look at their next fight. Like, yo, when's my next fight? Yo, can I get a title shot or can I get this guy? So when you see Ryan Garcia continuously calling out Gervonta Tank Davis, he kind of already knows what he's doing. He knows, like, I think Gervonta might end up fighting who's like the guy that they call Muhammad Ali in the PBC, Michelle Rivera. Am I saying his name right? Michelle Rivera?
Yeah.
So he might fight. Oh, yeah. So look, on the West Coast, he could fight Brandon Lee, but that's later down the line. That's not gonna happen anytime soon. On the East, he usually, like, I don't know, in New York, you got a strong Dominican population, so they might do another fight in New York with Michelle Rivera. I don't know what the plan is, but I don't see it happening in 2022. I see Ryan and Gervonta possibly happening in 2023.
What about Abner Maris if he wins his next fight next month?
Well, that's one of, like, he's part of the first crop of fighters that joined Al Haymon, so that's why he gets, like, the whole red carpet treatment. So he's coming off of a 3-year layoff. He's on, like, it's kind of like a Latin card because you have Andy Ruiz headlining and he's fighting Luis Ortiz and he's on the undercard. So like when it comes to, I think PBC, they're focused more on that Latin market now more than ever before.
Why?
Just because it's easy promotion. Like, it's easy promotion. It's easy. It's easier to market to them because that's what they've been, like, that's what boxing's been doing this whole time. You got Cinco de Mayo, and then you got Mexican Independence Day in September, and it's turnkey ready. The Latin market is turnkey ready. The other market, they're developing.
Bob said. That's exactly what Bob said in so many words. Yeah.
So when they say Tank Davis is the face of boxing, the next face of boxing, they're developing that urban market, like in Atlanta, in New York. Then he might do a fight. And so, like, with him, they move him around the country so that he hits all the markets. They don't do that with a lot of other fighters. They might keep one guy in LA and Texas, or they might keep one guy in Florida, and then he might do something around that Virginia, like that not the DMV area, but below that. So
I just want to hear your opinion. What do you think about all this back and forth situation with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence about?
Well, I don't know. Yes, I don't know. The thing with Terrence Crawford is, so I don't want to really say it like this. I got to be careful with what I say. Terrence Crawford's purse against Sean Porter was like $6 million, right? Guaranteed. That's after he signed an advisory deal with the MTK guy, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I remember Frank Warren did an interview and he kind of spilled the beans. He said he disperses the money to MTK and then MTK pays the fighter, even though they're a management company. So with Terrence Crawford, like the $6 million, I don't know if that's some of the MTK mixed money. You get what I'm saying? Because his purse before that was like 4 or something. Fred knows the exact numbers. The fight before Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford made like 3.5 or 4. And then it jumped up $2 million. And they got to pay Sean Porter. I forgot what they paid Sean Porter. But that whole pot, I think they mixed a little bit of MTK money to make it happen.
So you think somehow
okay, my bad. But that MTK money is no longer available to mix because of all these fucking sanctions.
Got you. Oh yeah. Interesting.
So you think that Crawford Spence is a wash?
I feel like it's gonna happen. I just feel like I think they're fighting on the guarantees. I think what they're being told is, hey, listen, if we start the promotion early, like if you sign now, we could start promoting. We could do press conferences in the East Coast, the West Coast, the South, and we could start making sure that the pay-per-view performs really well, so that you see revenue from pay-per-views as opposed to having a high guarantee. I think they're haggling over the high guarantee, and that's what's killing a lot of time. Like, I think Crawford wants a certain guarantee because he's used to getting certain guarantees. I think Errol Spence has a trust relationship with Al Haymon where he's used to seeing a certain small number on a piece of paper up front, and then he gets to disperse certain money over the course of time. over, I don't know, quarterly or monthly. I don't know how Al Haymon works, but yeah. So Spence is used to a certain type of monetary system. Crawford's used to a different type of monetary system.
Wow. And in your opinion, should both fighters stand their ground at this point in time?
No, I don't. I think Errol's ready to go because like this is all a PBC thing. It's not two promoters fighting. It's not. It's this is gonna happen on Showtime. It's gonna happen on One Network. It's gonna happen on a PBC production. So I think the main haggling point is the upfront guarantee Terrence Crawford wants, and he might not want to take anything under 8. I don't know what's in the whole pot. Like I don't know how to evaluate a fight. There's not enough public information to evaluate a fight. I don't know how to use Google Analytics for a fight, right? Because like those markers don't even make sense. Like Jake Paul said he made $40 million a year, but when you look at the Google Analytics, he probably did what, like 12 to 20. So I don't know. I'm speculating here, so don't take my word as gospel. I think the main haggling point is how much upfront guaranteed money Terrence Crawford wants.
So where would they go after that? So let's say they can't make the fight. Where does Errol Spence go?
I think they get the fight made and they might do it 3 times, similar to what Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder did. It's gonna be so exciting in the ring. The in-ring action is gonna make for so much highlights and so much talk. You're gonna see Stephen A. Smith talking about it. You're gonna see Matt Barnes and what's the other guy's name?
The Muslim guy.
Yeah, you're gonna see all of them talking about it. They might do it 2 to 3 times. It's not gonna just be a one-off. There's too much. That's where they might make their money back. Because remember the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight, the first one did only like I think 300 something, right? And then the second one did really well, even though they were in the red because of the high guarantees. The second one did really well. The third one, because of all the stalling and the COVID and all that stuff, like the promotion wasn't as smooth, and it was what it was. But an Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight for undisputed, it might happen 3 times. You might see some of the belts getting vacated, but at that time, by after the time the first fight is over, that's a brand of its own. It's a thing of its own.
I said that. Exactly my point. I appreciate you coming here clearing that shit up, man. You've definitely
you need to come back in here, man. You need to come back in here a lot more often. Like
there's not that much to talk about. Look, these fights, like how many big fights get done a year? Like there's not much for me to talk about. Like this particular subject, like we beat it to death. There's no new information coming out unless Fred has a pipeline to Sam Watson to get information or something like that, or there's probably a lot of information Fred knows that he doesn't talk about. So I'm only telling you what's already out there. I didn't divulge any there's nothing there's no secret information that I divulge. I just look at the trends. Like with Terrence Crawford, he's used to getting a certain upfront guarantee. And my speculation is with the Sean Porter fight, they kind of mix in a little bit of that MTK fund. And that's how it got done. And now with all like everybody's got a magnifying glass over that situation. So this time around, when he wants that, upfront high guarantee, I don't know if it's possible.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think happened with the Charlos? How about
Jermel, I really wanted him to fight in October, but the budget is what the budget is. I know the Showtime budget, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. That's why he has to go into the next fiscal year, right? Mm-hmm. He's got to go into the 2023 budget to make that fight happen. And like I said before, there's probably more money in that fight to happen in Australia. And I know Jermel Charlo is going to get the stoppage, so he doesn't have to worry about the judges or anything. But it's not going to happen, so I'm not going to fret over it.
How about Jamal? What's going to be next for Jamal, you think?
I really wanted to see Jamal Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade for a unified 160. But I think what might happen is you might see Erislandy Lara get a vacant 160 off of Triple G. And then you might see Jamal Charlo unifying with Erislandy Lara to become a unified champion at 160 if he can't get a Canelo fight. But here's the thing. On the Matchroom side, I think Canelo kind of swept through everybody, and he might have to go over to the PBC side to get the next couple of fights that's financially viable to him, because he's used to getting a certain amount of money. That might.
Yeah, because
Go ahead, bro.
Steven. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, finish your statement, please.
No, I'm done.
Oh, because Steven Espinoza told me their fiscal year starts in January. He told me that a couple years ago. So all these fighters, like Jamal's, like, and when you think about it, Jamal's not gonna get a date probably till January, or if they have excess money, he'll get a date in December. But I don't see where the excess money is. You know, how profitable do you think? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Fred. Go ahead.
No.
There's a
Please
delay in
respond
the
to
phone.
No. Please respond to Jamal Charlo and his fight date getting canceled.
What do you think of the validity of the back injury? Like
it was no back injury. It was no back injury. I 100% know it wasn't a back injury.
Barbershop. So according to
I know
barbershop
100%.
there's no back injury. So I think so if he was pulling out with an injury, was it because of lack of ticket sales? Like what happened?
I think it was a combination of everything. I think it was his guarantee, no ticket sales, they want to get a big fish. I think because they canceled they have really no fights in January or August. So I think that July or August. So I think they're going after a big fish. They're going to try and get a big fish, and maybe it's Jamal, or maybe it's Errol Spence or something. For Canelo or something, and that's why I think they pulled their resources.
Are they going to try for the Munguia?
Active for this long.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the only way a Munguia fight gets made is I'll tell you how the Munguia fight gets made. You're gonna see Al and what's that Tom Brown guy, and you're gonna see Hester and who Oscar's name that runs the company.
But you moving? You gotta go back to where you were. You moving?
Diaz.
Yeah.
Well, let me get it. Look. So they're gonna sit when they sit down and talk about the Tank and Ryan fight. That's when they also segue into the Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo fight. I feel like a Tank and Ryan happens before you have to see a DAZN and Showtime joint promotion first before you that has to happen business wise before Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo happens. And the Jamal Charlo and Jaime Munguia fight isn't a big enough fight to get a joint promotion. So what brings them to the table is going to be Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. And while they're at that table, they might talk about a future tense of Jaime and Jamal fighting. They might dig Danny Jacobs. You might see a Jamal Charlo versus Danny Jacobs. You might see a Jamal Charlo versus Arislandi Lara. Arislandi Lara can get stopped by Jamal Charlo at this point in his career. He doesn't have the same legs anymore.
Mm-hmm. How does PBC survive without the money? With their
Al's very resourceful. He's very, very resourceful. I just got to see how this Paramount Plus app is. He might do some of the shows on the app, and then some of the shows on Showtime, the actual channel.
Does he have a deal with Paramount Plus yet?
Well, he's already doing business with CBS Viacom, so I think CBS Viacom is now called Paramount on the ticker.
Okay.
So yeah.
He's
going to work with a slimmer budget, though. He's not going to get the same Showtime budget as he is for Paramount Plus. That's off top.
Go ahead, Nate.
So, what do you think about Bob Arum's comments years ago when he said that he knew HBO was going to fold, but then he also predicted that Showtime will as well? What do you think about that comment?
Well,
as far as in boxing, I mean,
I think Bob had an excellent relationship with Ken Hirschman. What's his name? Is it Ken Hirschman?
Ken Hirschman.
And then once that guy left, and there's a new younger guy that came in. He was a Harvard grad, but he was a Greek major or something like that. Peter something.
Yeah.
Peter Nelson. Peter Nelson.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah. So as soon as this guy came, that's when Bob saw the writing on the wall, and I'm pretty sure Hirschman told him what's up. All these guys are HBO alumni. Lou DiBello is HBO alumni. Steven Espinoza is HBO alumni, I think, because Golden Boy was tied with HBO. So all these guys are coming off of that HBO school bus, if you want to call it that. So they all talk. Like the boxing industry is very small. They're always talking.
How successful? What's your take on how Bob Arum's moving?
Listen, with that archive that he has, and he also signed a lot of young talent, right? I think I don't see enough of Todd DeBuff to think that he's gonna take the helm. He might just sell the company. He talked about specifically selling the company to Disney, and he's already doing business with Disney. So Disney, they're looking at the numbers in a totally different way. Like, it's one thing for a company to buy another company from the outside looking in. Disney gets, ESPN and them, they get to look from the inside. They get to pop the hood open, they get to sit in the seats, and they get to test drive it before they decide to buy it. So Bob could chill if he sells Top Rank Incorporated. I don't know if he wants it. I don't know what his plan is. Maybe you might see, this is all on the West Coast. The Endeavor Group, UFC, Al Heyman's business. I think Al Heyman shopping PBC around for a brief stint, and then I think Endeavor took a look. Yeah. So there you go. So he had to open the books. He had to open the books for the first time, probably, because he runs a very, very, very private, business model. So he probably opened the books to them, and they probably weren't feeling it. When he did business with Waddell and Reed, usually a hedge fund wants to see all your financials, but I think he kind of had some type of collusion with the managing director of the fund or one of the partners of the fund.
Ryan
so they probably
Caldwell.
gave it to him off strength. Yeah, there you go. So that's how that happened. I don't think he really they combed through everything before they gave him that money.
So let me ask you this. Does PBC business model have to fail because he got the hedge fund money?
Oh, well, what happened to that money? There was a big lawsuit, and I don't know what money Al Heyman paid out Top Rank with, because Bob said he got like 7 or 8 figures. Well, I don't know if he got 9 figures. I don't know if it was over $100 million. Well, Bob got money off of that big antitrust lawsuit. And Bob has a background in that. Before he was in boxing, he was doing all types of federal legal stuff. So he kind of knew which way everything was going. And I was like, all right, take this and just drop the case and let's work together. They started working together after that.
In terms of the hedge fund money, does PBC have to fail? Because he borrowed the hedge fund money.
I thought about this today, but not the hedge fund money. I'll try to tie it in. If the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight doesn't happen, and Errol Spence has another fight lined up with another fighter, and it's pay-per-view, it might tank so bad because people are going to talk about the Spence and Crawford fight not happening, and that might be what it takes for PBC to really raise the bar on consistent quality matchmaking. I don't know. They're relying on Showtime money, to my knowledge. I don't know if Al Heyman is still dispersing the hedge fund money. I don't know how that whole thing happened. I know he spent a lot of money on time buys. I know Thurman and them, like, if Thurman said he got like 1.25 million on the athletic commission, he got exactly that again, as like a residual check or whatever. So Chavez Jr., Keith Thurman, Andre Berto, the back end money that they were getting, I don't know if it was from the hedge fund, so I don't want to speculate. Like that's like making those type of accusations is not cool. So I'm not gonna say without knowing for sure.
I got a question. What do you think of? I've been seeing on BoxRec and some other sources that some of these fighters are getting popped up randomly where they're suspended indefinitely by the Nevada Athletic Commission.
No, that's a medical suspension. Like they do it to everybody after every fight. I think they got to be out. Like they're suspended for 60 days or something like that, right?
Yeah. Especially if it's a knockout or something like that. Yeah. So from a business standpoint, do you believe that he has to open up a new LLC of Haymon Boxing because he don't want to be liable to the hedge fund money?
He probably has the best, what do you call it? Like the whole entity structure on paper. He's probably got LLPs, LLPs. everything you can think of, he's already got it structured to where it's like a shell company. You got
Yeah.
a holdings company. Like you have to do all this stuff for tax purposes anyway. And this isn't his first rodeo. He did a lot of big business in music. He's seen a lot of lawsuits in music, so he's very seasoned. He's a veteran in the entertainment business, so he knows. He got big money from Pepsi for a Michael Jackson tour.
Yeah.
So like he's used to doing big business. So he's very protected. He knows how to maneuver everything, and you never hear Al Haymon with a tax problem. You'll never hear a fighter actually take Al Haymon to court. Not to my knowledge. They might have like disgruntled things to say, but they never actually take him to court for withholding money or stuff like that. And I feel like he makes a lot of their legal problems and stuff go away. So with Tank Davis, he didn't take a plea deal. That's Al Haymon. Like Al Haymon's pulling big strings to like fight that case and make the whole thing go away. Gervonta Tank Davis did not take the plea deal. Because that Al Haymon got the dream team of lawyers for Gervonta Tank Davis.
Have you heard anything about that case?
No, I didn't. But I was surprised when he didn't take the plea deal. That means like
I was shocked too. I was really shocked. Tank, like, I ain't doing no jail time. But he would have got out because it was COVID. So he probably would have got out in 30 days or so,
Yeah, and he's too important to that community for them to like even with Floyd, he got an exemption when he fought Cotto in Nevada. So
what do you think about Eddie Hearn and the Zone's business model? And what do you think because I know a lot of people say it's gonna fold in a couple of years or 5 years. What do you think about that?
Well, similar to the whole Al Haymon situation, I think when Blavatnik, I don't know his exact name, when that billionaire, look, a lot of these guys, when they issue money for boxing, like they might be an entertainment company or they might be some type of conglomerate where they want to diversify, right? Companies always have board meetings about diversification. We got to get into this. We got to get into that. And then they wait and see which seeds sprout, and then they scale back if it doesn't sprout. So that billionaire with the Zone, Eddie Hearn blew Eddie Hearn blew through mad money that the billionaire finally stepped in. Like he's like, I got to take a look at this. What the fuck are you guys doing? That's what ended up happening. So I don't know, man. And remember, so Eddie Hearn has a very, very unique deal. He still takes a promoter's cut, even though the Zone has some type of stake in his American operation. So remember, Eddie Hearn is getting guaranteed money for every show he puts on. He takes his 20% or 30% or whatever from every show. So if he overpays Devin Haney, that's not his money that's overpaying Devin Haney. That's the Zone money overpaying Devin Haney. And then Eddie Hearn takes his co-promotional cut from it. And then he'll make it look like, I don't want to say he'll make it look like, he'll talk in a manner where it's like, I created this opportunity for you, right? What he's supposed to do. That's what keeps him marketable, and that's what keeps fighters will be like, I want to sign the Matchroom. I want to get some of this Matchroom money, which Tevin Farmer did, Devin Haney did, Danny Jacobs did, Chavez Jr. did, and there was Jesse Vargas. That whole Mikey Garcia Jesse Vargas fight didn't make no sense. That like Mikey Garcia made so much money off of this Zone stuff that he just retired. He's like, I don't even got to do this anymore. And now the money dried up. So now Demetrius Andrade gets dropped, right? Because the money isn't there like it is there before.
Right.
And it's sad to see, man. It's sad to see.
So
he'll always be in business, but he's just not gonna have those gigantic purses that he once had.
So I got one more question, and I gotta get off. I gotta get these dishes done. So how did Eddie Hearn was able to just give Usyk AJ the money they made? But let's be honest, Spence and Crawford is a much bigger fight than AJ Usyk, and I know you said that there's a haggle about the guarantee, the money. Like, you agree, Spence and Crawford is a more must-see fight. So,
yeah, it's a much superior quality matchup to me because
so
I've been waiting for it for 4 years.
Exactly, there's a lot of storylines to it compared to Usyk and AJ. So how in the hell is there more struggle to find the money for a bigger matchup?
So the Eddie Hearn kind of envies Dana White a little bit. I think that's just my opinion. So like all the moves that Dana makes, Eddie tries to kind of emulate. So Dana did some business in Abu Dhabi and I forget the other Middle Eastern place, right? Because when COVID happened and I forget the states that he usually does business with. One is Florida, one is Nevada. But whatever, they weren't letting him operate in America, so he took his whole roster, and he brought them to the Middle East, and he did the shows there. The best Eddie Hearn could do at the time was he's like, yo, my promotional company office property, let's do a couple of shows here. So Eddie was watching Dana the whole time when Dana was operating. They even took pictures together, right, during the past like 2 years or whatever. And Dana even flirted about getting back into Zuffa boxing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different thing. Maybe they talked about it, but it never materialized. But when you see Eddie going to Saudi, yo, WWE already does big business in Saudi Arabia. I think Formula One, is it Formula One?
Yes.
They do big business. And so like live sporting events, that's nothing new to Saudi. They probably have a whole fund in their government budget just for like live sporting events, drive up tourism, vacations. They don't have any casinos or anything like that, but they got a lot of oil money from that petrodollar business they got.
And that's why I was saying these fighters in America should be looking at international money.
Yeah, right. So what happens with the PBC roster, you think?
Like, so now, like, remember I said the initial crop of Al Haymon alumni that got the red carpet treatment, it's difficult to get dates because their purses are so big. But with Sean Gibbons, Samson Lukowicz, and there's another promoter in there that I can't think of right now.
Yeah, I'm saying, Luis DeCupas.
Yeah, so when they come through, they get the typical rinky-dink promotional deal, so their purses won't be as high. They might make a couple $100,000. Before in the heyday, every Al Haymon fighter would get 7 figures. Arislandi Lara made a lot of money fighting scrubs when Al Haymon was really rolling in the dough. Like, they all made crazy money. Like Danny Garcia, Rod Salka. You'll never see stuff like that happen again. I think Danny Garcia got a guaranteed $750 for Rod Salka. So you'll see dates and stuff. You'll actually see like typical boxing stuff because you got a lot of exciting guys. They're just not making the purses that they used to make, and they're all foreign. They're all foreign. So they'll be from Mexico, they'll be from Central Asia. I forget what regions, but he'll funnel them through and he'll have dates. It's just that they're not making 7 figures anymore.
Hey, real quick, L-Dub, if you see it, man, you should come in, man. This guy and Fernando, I'm sorry. Y'all should all, this will be a great. You should come in, Fred. You should send a link to him because he knows a lot of inside information as well.
No, Fred got the inside information.
No, I know Fred.
He's got direct links to a lot of people in the business. You know what's crazy? You know what I found out yesterday? So the Canelo Golovkin the media work that's handled by Kelly Swanson. So yeah, I think so. The credentials have to. If you want credentials, it has to come from Kelly Swanson. You guys got to double check, but yeah. So listen, like this is all business, man. It's not about being a PBC. So if within Al Haymon's close team, if they're willing to do outside business, everybody as a consumer or as a fighter, you should be willing to do like business with whatever makes sense, right? Because if Kelly Swanson was such what do you call it, like a PBC, yeah, she wouldn't be doing the credential work for Canelo Golovkin, but she is. So that I was like,
I'm gonna check my email.
Holy shit! Hey, Fernando, man, what's your channel so we subscribe and you just be added onto.
I don't have a channel. I like to watch his channel because like Fred gets like exclusive. He gets Bob Arum on his channel. I forget, he got Rick Glacier on a couple of times. He gets like exclusive stuff. So I sometimes come by this channel, but I don't have a channel. I don't have any interest in making content. One thing I wanted to ask Fred was this: how many shares of CBS Viacom does somebody need to buy so that
just buy one so you get the newsletter? Just buy one.
Not the newsletter, so that you could be on the phone call.
I got to check that.
Because if it's like a moderate amount, I'll buy a couple of shares just so I could ask, like, how many pay-per-view buys that you have, and they won't have that answer immediately available, but they're obligated to get back to me.
They're
right?
obligated to get back to you. Yeah, they're obligated.
So I want.
Yeah,
they have to. They have to.
Yeah, that's a gem right there.
And
that's what I wanted to do because they can't like. I know Leonard Ellerby has a specific number that he likes to put out with certain pay-per-views, and I just want to see the actual number down to the last digit.
Yeah, and they can't lie because they're
Yeah,
live.
they can. The
They
SEC's
can't
gonna.
lie.
Yeah.
So what do you think will happen with Leonard Ellerby?
So I think with Leonard, he's got an easy business model because I think the heavy promotional lifting is done by Tom Brown and TGB. So
right.
he's kind of like he did a good job with Tank Davis. The Tank Davis thing is really a Leonard Ellerby project more than it is Mayweather, right? Because Mayweather will actually have exhibition fight dates that kind of clash with Tank's dates. And he's not attending every press conference or things like that. So I don't know how hands-on Mayweather is. So Leonard, I can't get mad at Leonard. He did a good job with Tank, especially developing the urban market, which you got to understand the Latin market, it's been developed for decades. Right? The current urban market, it's never been developed before. So you're watching it happen right now.
That's a falsehood, man. That's a falsehood. The reason why it is how it is because the lack of fights. Like
yeah.
Think about like the Barclays Center used to sell out all the time, fucking with the PBC.
No, the PBC can't. I don't know if it's a fractured relationship with the Barclays.
They just had them. They just did something with the Barclays. So
but there was a hiatus for a minute. I don't know what happened because they used to do Danny Garcia did a lot of big fights too. I think Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman was at the Barclays. They did some fights. You had Danny Jacobs and Peter Quillen there.
Yeah.
No. I think the battle for Brooklyn ended up happening somewhere else, right? Or was it the battle for Ohio happened in Vegas? Yeah, I think
Broner.
So, I don't know, man. I never thought Atlanta, aside from Evander Holyfield, I never thought you could pack a venue in Atlanta like that, like Tank did. So he gets people to come to his shows.
I would say it's younger than the Mexican market, and like you said, and Bob said it in my interview, is that the Mexican market is turnkey. I can just say Ruelas versus Garcia. I'm getting the gate. I think the urban market, the black market, the hip hop market is a whole lot younger than it is than the Mexican market. And two, promoters don't want to take a risk now.
Yeah, they don't. They have a formula that works, right? So with Tank, he'll take a low upside. He'll get a percentage of all the live gate. He'll get a percentage of the pay-per-views, and the opponent does the opponents are usually funneled in by Sean Gibbons or the last guy that he fought. He didn't make that much. Rolly Romero that was super in-house, and Rolly Romero, even if Rolly Romero made, I don't know, $600,000-700,000, he's never seen that type of money before, and he arguably lost his last fight with Jackson Mariñez.
Yeah, that was his fight before last.
Oh yeah, my bad. So
people always forget about the other fight because the other dude didn't belong in there with him. That's all.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker Avery Sparrow ass always coming in. Man,
I don't want to. Man, don't get me started on that. Please don't get me started on him.
I got you.
He hurts my feelings every time, bro. He has so much talent. But his lack of work ethic, man, is sad, bro. That dude could have been so good. He had some of the best trainers that you can have. He would just go on these hiatuses, bro.
He was having trouble outside the gym too.
Yeah, he got a case. Remember, he had a pending case when he fought here in LA.
No, he didn't get to fight in LA because
he had a pending case. Yeah, I remember that.
They arrested his ex.
He's missed out on so many big opportunities, man. It's some of the saddest shit I've seen.
Didn't they arrest him twice? Before 2 fights before, he had a fight, he made weight or whatever, and then they just came up and had a warrant out for his arrest.
That was Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? How did they come and get you before?
Nah, you're right. So what do you think happened with TMT? And
Uh,
and part two is Floyd signed. Did Tank resign with Floyd?
I don't know for sure if Tank was ever out with Floyd. Like he might have had a contract with an option where it's like, oh, yo, if I meet you with this number, then we're automatically extending. So I think that's what happened.
Wow.
I know that's speculation, guys. Listen, like these type of things, like the questions Fred is asking, he already kind of knows the answers to. If you ask me.
Fred, you testing us, I think.
I ain't testing y'all, man. I don't know none of these answers, man.
Yes, you do. You trying to see who's paying attention.
He's basically speaking in y'all language, so y'all can understand what I've been telling y'all.
Layman's turn.
You know what I mean? He ain't speaking in hyperboles and bitch this, bitch that. He's just telling y'all exactly where it's at. So what do you think is going to happen with the second half of these PBC fighters? If he has 300 fighters, what's going to happen with the latter 150 fighters?
Okay, so you got to divide it by age. Like those guys that got crazy purses in the heyday, they're like in their approaching mid-30s now. So they'll probably, they'll sail off into the sunset with all that money that they made. And,
right.
Al Haymon, I don't know to the extent, because I know with Leo Santa, I forget which fighter, he helped them acquire a trucking company or something like that. And
Jared Hurt.
Yeah, so I can't name the names, but some of them he's helped them with different businesses pertaining to the area that they reside in, right? Man, so those guys will be good. And then the new fighters coming in, they know like Al Haymon's getting older too. You gotta realize, like a micromanager, you recently saw a micromanager retire because he's just old and he's got a couple of cases coming on. His name is Vince McMahon for the WWE.
Yeah.
He was a super micromanager. Al Haymon kind of has a similar approach with his product. He no longer.
How do you know Al Haymon is a micromanager?
There's different things that was said. That whole Thomas Hauser 5-piece article.
Yeah.
I think
that's a great read. You guys should read that so you can get just so you learn who Al Haymon is because he interviewed his roommate and all that.
Damn.
But Al Haymon's a guy where he keeps his operational costs really, really low. He keeps it really, really low. So I know Fred says that Al Haymon lacks infrastructure in the boxing business, but for his music promotion business, he had a real deal infrastructure, and he took like 2 decades to make that. So that's why it was like that. And I think when it came to funding and stuff in the beginning in the music business, it wasn't there for him like that. Like he leveraged that success to boxing. That's why a lot of things happened fast. Yeah. But his rise to the top in music was a slow ascent. He also has a hand in like with death row and stuff like that. Like he's got his fingerprints everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure. Yeah. And form hands, bro, and all that. But he has his hands in all of these guys because he got them in bundle packages and stuff like that. But
I got
yeah. Go ahead.
I somebody just mentioned one of my favorite fighters, man. Hell yeah. What do you think about Regis Prograis situation? He's with Richard Schaefer.
Yo, listen, Richard Schaefer, when's the last time he showed up for a press conference for a Probellum card? Because I've seen him going missing.
Probably that Regis one. That was it.
Yeah, so it's the heat has to go away with the whole affiliation of Probellum with certain characters. So Regis, they should let him out of his deal, but even if they let him out of his deal, he can't go back to the PBC because he left the PBC, and he kind of said some things after he left the PBC, how they didn't deliver for him and stuff like that. So I don't know where he goes. Where does he go? He goes to Top Rank.
Oh, he might have to. Golden Boy.
No, I don't. Oh, God. With Golden Boy, no, it's not. They can't do anything. They can't do anything for him, man.
His all the fights he needs is at PBC.
Yeah, but I listen. No, never say never. Never say never. But all the 140 guys are at Top Rank if Regis so chooses. But that's where he would finish his career because he's at the age where the next 3 fights is what really matters.
Yeah, how old is Regis? 35? 30.
No, I think he's 33, 32.
Oh, yeah, he's in the middle of
I
his
could be
prime.
wrong. I'm not 100% sure. If you ask me off top, I'm not 100% sure. But he started boxing late. I know that much.
He's in the middle of his prime. Or near end of it. Wow.
Man, we appreciate your input tonight, man.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Thank you, man. You gotta come in once a week.
I appreciate the channel, man, because like I don't know if a lot of people really pay attention to what like some of this stuff. Like Fred, he'll casually say things that'll just like kind of fly by people. But if you really pay attention to what he's saying, man, he knows a lot more than he gives out.
Oh well, I appreciate that, and I try and wake them up. But if you give someone 2 pieces of chocolate, they'll never come back.
Oh, there's also the legal repercussions. So there's that.
Yeah. But if you give them 1, man, that shit is good. I want more. You give them 2, dog. They good.
Shit, we already want more. Shit, hell yeah, man. Y'all, both of y'all need like this guy have L-Dub, man. I thought you was gonna come on. That'd have been great as well.
Come on next time, I guess.
Yeah. So all of y'all gotta get on. Fred, Cal, come on. Let's see, Fernando, L-Dub. Yeah, that'd be great.
L-Dub is legendary, bro.
Yeah, y'all would mesh so well. Fuck it.
Listen, people don't understand. Me and L-Dub, we always together though. Like when we on these fights and stuff like that. If you ever hear me say the ghost, that's what I'm talking about. He really a ghost though. Yeah. Like I be having to make him like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm all over the place and all that. He a ghost, man.
Good guy.
That's my man.
Hey, this was a great show, Fred.
It was an awesome show. It was all y'all. I want to say thank you. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Nate.
This was like
a
Robbery Heights with all the gems. That
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I learned. Listen, I didn't say anything in this this YouTube live session that's not already public information. Fred has a lot of primary sources on his phone. He's got a lot of primary sources on his phone. Like he's really connected in that whole West Coast scene. Everything that goes down, he knows. But people tell him things in confidence, so he can't let the cat out of the bag. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I do know a lot of stuff, but I tell them, I tell them, and they can choose to get it if they want. If they don't, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Hey, to the panel, I'm about to go.
Appreciate
I gotta go too.
Thank you, Fernando. Appreciate both of y'all, man. Thank you, man. What an awesome show, man.
Come back,
what
man.
An awesome, come back.
Take
Come
care,
hang out
guys.
with us. Come hang out with us.
Yeah.
All right, Fred. I really appreciate this. All right, Cal. This was dope.
All right, guys. Take care. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, dog. That was great job, Nate. Great job, Fernando. Great job.
Well, look, guys. Fred want to get out here before 10.
Yeah, I do. And but it was an awesome show. We get out here before 10 for sure. But it was a great show. We got a lot of information. I'm glad he spoke to where in which you guys can understand. Y'all ain't have to deal with my borderline obsessive personality, ego-driven personality. He just gave y'all the information.
You got a lot of ego, bro.
I'll take it. Beyonce likes it, so that's what it is.
Oh, attaboy. It almost did like this, bro. I said,
oh, yeah. Actually, she loves it. So yeah, man, great show. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Hey, we're gonna do a show. I got some paperwork right here. So we're gonna do the people of California versus Ronnie Stephen Islam.
Oh, here he go. He on fire now.
Yeah, we
in court already or what?
Yeah, he's in court. Next court date is August. Next court date, I'm not gonna go, but it's next court date is 8/22/22.
No, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it now.
No, I'm not going. I don't have time to go during the day. I'm in the school with the kids, man. Great show, y'all. Great show. Ain't no need for me to talk anymore. Great show, man. Let's get out of here, Kyle. Thank you guys for coming in tonight, man. Great show.
The shop is closed. The box section is open. We live for the after party. Play the song, Fred.
After the show, it's the after party, and after the show, it's the hotel lobby. And Born to Lose, Built to Last. Thank you, DJ. Oh, we got the love chat in here. What's up? What's up, Roderick? You spell your name like mine. So you just say Roderick. The great. I'll see DJ over there in a minute. Infamous, appreciate you. BNB, man. What it do, big homie? BNB, beam in tomorrow, man. Stir some shit up, man. Wesley Todd, man. Wesley Todd. Don't call in. Why call in when you could beam in? Hey, man, hit the like button on the way out, man. The least you could do is that's how you can tell Fernando thank you, man. So when he comes back and look at the show next year, the year after that, he's like, man, people really fucking with me. You know what I mean? So go like the show, man, for Fernando, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Roja, Way B, thank you. Byron Moore, man. You know what I mean? He basically told y'all what I've been telling y'all. The budget gone, yo. The budget gone. And you got to wait till January. They're going to come out with a hard calendar in January. The first 3 months of the year, it's going to be beautiful. Well, the second 3 months because of the Super Bowl and NFL playoffs.
That's what they remember. What I wish you to bring that up before. Remember, I was telling you that.
What's that?
Remember I was saying it's too good to be true. Like I said, ain't no way we getting more of this. Remember, I was saying like how everybody was so excited, like how boxing was just so good to us at the beginning of the year.
Now money gone, man. Money gone. See, what Al doesn't do is relinquish some of the financial strain because he's basically not necessarily destroyed the relationships, but purposely put him on an island without building infrastructure. So what Bob does is, hey, Tony Yard, I get someone to pay your salary. You want this check? Are you gonna pick up Tony Yard's salary? Okay. You gonna do the promotion for the fight? Okay. I'll take Arthur Better Be There. So we get an Arthur Better Be There fight, and Bob Arum is only responsible for Arthur Better Be There. You get what I'm saying? Al Haymon does none of that stuff, does none of that, or very minimum,
Seems like he's doing it now because that's why we're getting all these fucked
Well,
up.
his fight has been on the B side. They've been put in the lose, So with Marcus Green, Marcus Brown, yeah, and him, you know what I mean? 4-time woman beater. So
you know what I said? You know what I said the other day? I said that? Arthur Better Be There was a woman, maybe he would have won.
Yeah, probably would have, man. Should have wore a wig. Like the dude that knocked him out. What's his name? Oh, he won by decision. What's his name? He had a wig on at the press conference.
John Pascal?
Yeah, John Pascal, man. John Pascal, man. Stay off them roids, man. Stay off them roids, man. Stay off them roids. Ain't no sunshine when the budget gone. Hey, that motherfucker Eddie Hearn got $240 million. That motherfucker got 140, 120, over $140 million in salaries between August 20th and September 17th.
And guess what?
Uh-huh.
Anthony Joshua just covered them all.
No, I'm saying with Anthony Joshua, Usyk, Canelo, and Triple G. He said, yeah. Gotcha. All right, man. Love y'all, man. We gone. I appreciate y'all for coming through tonight.
We live at 10.
10. You should go live now.